Welcome back to Yoga Biz Champ podcast. I'm Michael J, and we are back on Marketing Month, a series of conversations all about helping yoga studio owners get better at attracting new students, building trust, and making their marketing feel a whole lot less overwhelming. Today, I'm joined by my fellow Canadian, Jennifer Kolbuc from Mountaintop Consulting and MarketingClub.ca. Jennifer helps business owners create smarter, more strategic marketing across social media, email, websites, and paid ads. And what I love about this conversation is that we're not just talking about fluffy marketing theory. We're talking about the real stuff yoga studio owners are dealing with right now. How do you show up online without overthinking everything? How do you stop trying to market to everyone? How do you use email more effectively? How do you create content that actually sounds like you? And how do you make sure your website and online presence are working harder for your yoga studio? Jennifer also shares more about her Marketing Club, which is a membership that gives business owners ongoing marketing training, support, accountability, and community. And I just signed up for it myself. And she has a special offer for Yoga Biz Champ listeners, so stay tuned to the end. So if you're a yoga studio owner who knows your marketing needs to be stronger, clearer, and more consistent, this is a great episode to continue on with Marketing Month. So let's get into it with Jennifer. Welcome to another episode of Yoga Biz Champ. And I'm really excited to have actually somebody from my own town, which is unusual. And I went to a marketing summit a couple of weeks ago, and there was this great presentation by somebody, and I really enjoyed it. And we got connected afterwards, and then we met and we geeked out on all things marketing. And that's Jennifer from Mountaintop Consulting here in Vancouver, Canada. Hi, Jennifer.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. It's so great to be on the podcast and so nice to connect you at the CDM Summit last week or 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's great to bring those connections kind of from, usually we go online and then into real life, but we went in real life and now to online.
In real life. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think we met in real life. We met online via LinkedIn and then
so full circle.
Full circle. Yeah. Anyway, really great to have you here because actually this month is May and we are doing Marketing Month of May. So we're talking to yoga studio owners that are really rocking it in the marketing world because some of them really are. And when we chatted, where I thought you could bring such great value to my audience, which is potential yoga studio owners, so usually teachers dreaming to be a studio owner, and then the studio owner that's trying to figure things out and make a go of it.
Yeah.
And marketing is such it used to be the world, and some of us will relate here, where we used to go to the local health food shop. There would be a big board. We would pin a poster on the board for events.
All the marketing you needed.
Or an ad in the local newspaper. But I think in my world now, yoga studio owners have to very quickly learn that they always have to feed leads in. And so very quickly, there's this thing we have called churn. People come, people go. So we always have to feed new people into the business. So, okay, before I get in there, I do have an option for you. You sent me a bio. So you have a choice. I can read one of your bios, or I could give you what AI told me about you.
Oh, interesting. I want to hear the AI one, if I'm being honest. Let's see what AI said about me.
All right. Jennifer Kolbuc is the owner of Mountaintop Consulting based in Port Moody, BC, and the co-founder of MarketingClub.ca. She has been around for 15 years of digital and social media marketing experience, including managing social media for major brands across Canada and helping hundreds of business owners take back control of their Instagram and content strategy. What stands out, I see you smiling.
Pretty good so far.
What stands out is that Jennifer is not teaching marketing theory from the sidelines. She helps busy business owners make social media, email marketing, paid ads, and content planning feel simpler, more strategic, and actually profitable. Through Mountaintop Consulting, she offers social media strategy, coaching, power hours, team training, speaking webinars, and email marketing support. And through Marketing Club, which she co-founded with Brittany Hardy, she helps business owners get unstuck, stay accountable, and build marketing that works without spending their entire life online. So basically, Jennifer helps business owners stop posting into the void and start using marketing with a plan.
Okay, I think it nailed it. I think it said all the things we needed it to say.
And then ChatGPT says, Jennifer, how did AI do?
I think you can give it maybe 9.5 out of 10. I feel like we could have used some more personality maybe, but the points are correct.
Okay. Can you give me the personality?
Yeah, I mean, I think in my bio I have, fueled by endless cups of tea. I do have the occasional cup of coffee, as you'll see here today.
Can we say what brand of tea? Because I'm British here,
Honestly, for me, good old Tetley tea is my go-to black tea. The blue box at the supermarket. I've had it since I was, I don't know, as young as you are when you start drinking tea. So not any fancy tea. And then my love of hiking. I actually have a hiking counter, like a trail counter on my website as well. And that's actually where the name Mountaintop Consulting came from.
Oh, cool.
We like Vancouver, obviously very mountain based. And then the love of hiking.
Yeah.
And then, you go into GoDaddy when you're trying to name your business and you're just putting in keywords, which I mean, honestly, forward thinking with SEO, I probably should have chosen something more marketing, social media related, but alas, with the Marketing Club, that one is very aptly named because that was the second business.
Yeah.
But for my original business, it was I love mountains. And, you go into GoDaddy and that was 10 years ago. And that's where Mountaintop Consulting came from.
Awesome. And I'd love to talk about the Marketing Club a little bit later because that's definitely intrigued me. I think it's really fantastic when we're talking about that. I'd love to start with, I kind of want to hit a few things. I want to talk about email. I want to talk about website, but I feel like the big one, which AI touched on there, is social media right now. And so I think this is kind of a good conversation to have fresh off of the summit because the word from the whole thing, the words that stick out for me was messy marketing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I mean, there's so much. I think first, right off the bat, as a studio owner, if you are the one doing your marketing, there is so much marketing you can be doing. And I think that's where it gets really challenging today. Like you said, everything from putting up the poster, which still could be a viable route.
It is grassroots for sure.
Right. For the grassroots movements, to networking, to events, to the social media, to the email, to the paid ads, and really trying to figure out what's your best lane and then what's your role as the studio owner and where do you outsource and get support on?
Yeah. I mean, I just did a group coaching not long ago, and it's people are maxed out because they are doing all the roles, right? And so you're either doing it yourself, you're having somebody on your team do it, or outsourcing that, which can be a great route. So people use you for that service as well, right?
Yeah, it really depends. I mean, I always say when you're starting out, you have to do a little bit of it yourself. And that's honestly my recommendation to most clients.
To learn
you've got to learn it a little bit first, even though that's hard and it takes time, because then you really know okay, actually the things I'm really good at, or maybe just enjoy as a studio owner are the email marketing and I like creating video content. But, I don't know anything about paid ads and I don't like updating the website as an example. That's where I need support. And for somebody else, it might be totally different. So if you're thinking about your teachers who are becoming, or not quite yet studio owners, if you're in that category, it's this is the time to learn, play around with your social media, try out some of these tools now so that if and when you do go to launch a studio, you kind of know where your strengths lie and then where you need to get, help with support.
Yeah. And knowing your audience too, as well, is kind of one of the big ones, right? That you're talking to that audience and knowing who you are.
Yeah. I think now more than ever, I mean, yoga sounds niche, but also it's not. I mean, here in Vancouver, there's probably a yoga studio on every corner, especially if you're in downtown.
Yeah.
And so you've really got to be more specific than just yoga. And I'm sure you talk about this in your coaching, saying you are for the community and you're for everyone and it's yoga and it's all abilities welcome. And those are nice messages. I mean, we're not saying some of that messages don't exist, but it's got to be what is your specialty, right? There's all kinds of different yoga practices.
100%.
You could be doing like different specialties of yoga, different modalities. You might really focus in on one part of a community or one type. Like you might be really into pre and postnatal yoga for the mom community, or you might be really into yoga for mobility for an older demographic. You might be really into like, I don't know what's hip and upcoming in the yoga community, but like Gen Z yoga, like there might be, but finding something that gives you a little bit.
Goat yoga. Everybody's doing goat yoga.
Yoga with the puppies. I mean, whatever it is. But finding something that when someone goes, oh yeah, the goat yoga, that's at this studio. That's the connection you want people to make.
Yeah. I'll give an example here. If anybody hasn't listened on this podcast, Yoga Strong, my client, Samantha, she is yoga for 40 plus females.
I love it.
That want strength in their life, that want strength, mobility, and stretch. So she incorporates weights. And so she's very specific. And she had one young girl come to the class and she was like, I don't fit in here. And she was like, I'm sorry. There's lots of other spaces that you will fit in. But this is my people and that's who I'm serving. And so when she talks to the audience, she's talking to that person.
Yeah. And I love that. And I think some of that comes from, I want to say like the braveness of being able to say no to people. Because I think as a new business owner, we've all made this mistake where you say yes to everyone and everything. Yep. I mean, I've done this myself where you're like, of course I could do that work and take on that project and work in this niche. Because in the beginning, we need all the income and revenue that we can get. And so, we've all been there.
100%.
But over time, where businesses really start to scale and grow is when you have the capacity to say, no, actually, this isn't a fit. Actually, you're not the best client.
Yep.
And that's actually when you really start to grow as a business owner. And so when you can be in a place of saying, in the beginning, you're in a yes mode, and that's okay. But when you switch into, I don't want to say no mode, but niching down and really knowing who your audience is, that's actually when you grow. And so what I've done is there's a bunch of things I don't do anymore, but I've got a great referral network. I've got all kinds of great other business owners that I would love to refer you to. Happy to take that business and pass it along to somebody who's just a better fit or at a better, part of their journey.
Yep.
And then as a result, you build this great referral network and it kind of all comes back to you in the end anyways. But it depends where you are on the journey. But the sooner you can get to a place where like Yoga Strong, where you can say, actually, you're not the right fit. It's not that you're not welcome here, but you can see these are our people. We'd love to have you back in 10 years when you are in our category. Please come back. That's going to be a better message,
Yeah. And there's definitely, I work with some studios that are a lineage-based studio, and I'm working with one right now in Europe and they're Ashtanga lineage. And so there's a whole lineage to that. And I was like, I don't want you to be everything to everybody. I want you to be the best at that and the destination for that.
Yeah.
I don't want you watering that down. So I think, when you really know that and when you know who you're talking to, and I think it's important too, even when you're intaking the clients in, finding out who they are. Like quite often we have on a lead form or the sign up form. Why did you come? Like that little bit of knowledge about your audience, if they came for stress, if they came for stretch release, you can talk to that person about that and direct them to those classes.
Yeah. Well, and I think what you said earlier when we weren't recording, we were talking about churn, right? And churn in business and memberships is something, we all have. But the sooner you specialize, the sooner you're likely going to reduce your churn, because if you specialize in one type of yoga, whether it's a modality or a certain target audience, people will then stay longer because they're like, this is the one place that really gets me. Therefore, I have to stay. If your yoga studio or any marketing business is just I cater to everyone who does everything all the time, it's much easier to jump ship. And then they're going to be more price sensitive because they're going to go, but the place down the street that runs the 10 exact same classes that you run is running a sale this week. So I'm actually going to go there this week instead. And then they bop around more. But if they know they can only get, this specialty offering from you, they're going to stay, churn goes down, profit goes up.
Yeah. Messy marketing in that. So, we talked about the glossy and everything's glossy, Canva, AI. And so, we're finding our audiences and then we're going to talk to our audience. And now we're saying to our people, you got to talk to the camera now.
I know. It's terrifying. It's very terrifying for most business owners when I suggest talking to the camera. I mean, the good news is I feel like it's a really interesting inflection point in social media. At the summit, I had this 4-part slide up, where we started, we didn't know what we were doing.
Yep.
Then social media got better. We got better. Then it got really polished and perfective. Then we kind of got a little less polished kind of during the pandemic time. And now we're kind of back here again where really we're looking for this really raw, unpolished content.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually, it's a great time if you're new to Reels and new to marketing.
It's less pressure, right?
It's less pressure because I feel like 3 or 4 years ago, your videos actually needed to be better quality. And now people are like, no, we want you just to jump on in the moment. record yourself, like whether you're in a class or just after the class, kind of doing a bit of a debrief, whether you're still sweaty or still, like it's still hair a bit messed up from your headstand. And that's actually more beneficial. So I hope that, some people, as we're kind of leaning into this messy marketing, will go like, oh, actually messy marketing is easier marketing because it doesn't need to be so polished. People are going to connect better with somebody who's just a real human being talking like a real person on camera.
Yeah. On a call before this, we had a conversation about, putting yourself out there. And one of the studio's owners was somebody that had transitioned sex and was so conscious of their voice. And I'm like, you have to get over yourself on this. If you put yourself out there, you are going to attract that crowd that's attracted to your presence, right?
Yeah.
And I also said when I first started, as someone I have anxiety things. So I put my nails in my mouth, I bite the inside of my cheeks, I touch. Like if I was to analyze, like I did at the beginning, analyze myself, I would never put anything out. And I'm on camera all the time.
Yeah.
So I feel like the more you practice that, it's easier to get over yourself.
Totally. I mean, there's a couple things there. Like one, practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
I tell my clients, like, your first videos are supposed to be terrible. You should look back in 6 months or a year and go like, wow, those videos
they look stodgy at first.
Are awkward, and they're supposed to be. So always keep that in mind. The second thing, of course, is like your worst critic is yourself, right? Like we're all our own worst critics. We're all out here judging. I'm like, oh my God, is my hair strand out of place? Like, is everything, the average person does not have the time or capacity to care about those small things. Like they really, really don't. They're busy in their own lives and their own heads, analyzing their own things that are going on. So being messy, like most of the time, the mess you're seeing is your own mess. Like people aren't kind of seeing that anyways.
And it's relatable.
And when somebody does show up, I'm using air quotes here, messy, people are like, oh my God, me too. Like, thank goodness someone else out there has a messy kitchen and has this happening. Like,
exactly.
It's actually a relief.
Yeah.
Every time I see someone in my own space show up as a real person, I'm like, or talking about how, the fear of success or the fear of, imposter syndrome. I'm like, really? They have imposter syndrome? And I'm like, like it actually feels like a weight's been lifted off my own shoulders to go like, oh my gosh, it's not just me. And so I think especially in the yoga state, like imagine what you're doing for your audience when you talk about what you're struggling with as a business owner, as a yoga teacher, as a mom or professional or whatever other personalities you embodify. Your audience is struggling with those same things as well. And so then all of a sudden you become this relatable human that goes, oh my gosh, like, I also hate when my yoga pants roll down in this pose or, whatever it is, right? Like it just becomes a relatable moment.
Yeah. So is this something that because you have your marketing club, does this come up in conversation?
Oh, every conversation. The marketing club membership.
Yeah.
I have a lot of women over 40 in that membership as well. And a lot of women who are onto their maybe, I want to say like second career stage in their life. They had a business or they had kids or whatever their journey was. And now they're onto this next journey. And so for a lot of them, they're showing up on social media as a business owner for the first time. And that's very new for them. And of course, very daunting. And every single person says the same thing. Like, I'm too old. I'm not, pretty enough. I'm too self-conscious. I'm too this. And every week it's a little bit of that coaching too, to be like, all of you are great. Like you're all doing great things. And we get in there and we hype each other up. Yeah. And in the group, everyone's like, oh my gosh, that really was amazing. Like I never would have done that. And so with this support, and everyone starts to realize like, we're all in this boat together. We're all figuring it out together. And then when they go and they finally hit publish on that piece of content, like they rip off that Band-Aid on that first post or that first style they were trying out. And then it's like, oh, that wasn't so bad. We just had to like get through the first one and then you get through the next one and it just continues to get easier.
Yeah. I actually even tell them, do it. You don't have to post it.
Yeah, I like that.
Right? Like literally you just...
Although I would say post it. I mean, I'm like, just post it right now. Don't even edit.
Yeah, okay.
So my outs are this. One, you can always share to stories. Instagram stories, they expire after 24 hours.
Gone the next day. Yeah.
So that's a good little entry point for people who are feeling really new.
Yeah.
But the second thing I tell people is like, just post it. I ask them like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, is someone going to sue you over this content? Is your business going to somehow dissolve within 24 hours? Like, what's the worst case scenario? And usually in their head, they're like, well, I look a bit awkward. And I'm like, okay, but then what's the best case scenario? The best case scenario is you speak to one person today with your video, one person who goes like, I really needed to hear that today.
Yeah.
That's it. Wouldn't that feel amazing to go like you reached one person with that message and you made an impact on their day, their week, their life. They decided to take action, and taking action might mean like just feeling better about themselves for that day. And if you make that the bar, like if I make the content, like what if I just really helped one person today?
Yeah.
And if that's the bar, you're like, oh, then that's a pretty good bar for my content to go. I might have helped somebody today who needed to hear this message or this educational tip. I might as well just hit post.
Yeah. And the other thing to get over yourself is, folks, it's gone in 3 seconds. You're gone in the flash of a swipe. You are history. Yes, you are out of their mind in the swipe. That's it.
We're watching 100 videos at a time, right? So like you're one of 100 videos someone's watching in their binge session, before bed. I mean, and I hope they stop and I hope they watch the video to the end, but it's a good reminder. Like with content, I would say it's a blend of quantity versus quality. We do still want to have a good marketing message and know who we're talking to,
and call to actions.
And a call to action, but sometimes it's the quantity. It's like getting the reps in, like a yoga practice, right? You have to actually show up to the studio and put the reps in to get better at your poses. You can't just, no matter how many yoga videos you watch, you will not get better at yoga unless you do the yoga. And so creating content's the same.
Just post.
You can watch all these tips and tutorials, but until you create it and hit post, you don't get any better.
Yeah. And I think what you said about stories there, I love stories because I spend a lot of time on stories. That's where I look at things. But they're gone in 24 hours. But what I like for a yoga studio there, that's the space, I think, where you get to show the personality of your studio. And like you said, being raw, that could be no makeup on, opening the studio in the morning, getting the props set up. But that's the space to show the personality of the behind the scenes, I think, for people to just watch and go, oh, I fit in there.
Yeah. Yeah. The more places you can make connections with your audience, the better.
Hey champs, I want to tell you about a platform I genuinely believe in, Offering Tree. Offering Tree is built for community studios like yours, the ones who are in it to spread yoga and build something sustainable, not just scale at all costs. And they stand behind you every step of the way. Their support is unlike anything else in this space. When you email them, a real person responds, someone who knows your name and your business. Studio plans include free data migration, one-on-one onboarding, live office hours, twice monthly coaching calls, and an active community of business owners who are on the same path. This is what holistic support actually looks like. Yoga Biz Champ listeners get 50% off the first 3 months. Hit the link in my show notes. Yeah. My world, we're mostly, feeding leads in.
Yep.
And so generally, not always, the general ways are either in through an intro offer period or a course or something like that. What are you seeing in the world working for people actually clicking, generating leads? What are you seeing working?
Yeah. I mean, with ads, I feel like it's the same as well. I do run ads for my own business for lead generation, for my email list. And whenever I go to create ads, I always create 5 to 10, images. And half of them are what I want to call on brand. They look like something nice that I create that matches kind of my branding. And the other 3 are off the wall. Like they are nonsensical. I'm dabbling with a little bit of AI generation, but they're like a little bit different and usually very different than my traditional images. And honestly, it's always the ones that are very different that convert.
Because it's a shock to
the scene. So I think with ads, it's kind of like with content. My ones that look really pretty and look really polished and worked more traditionally 2, 3, 4 years ago, they just don't convert anymore. I keep them in the mix because I'm like, well, they worked before. They have a little bit of kind of lag time on them there. But the stuff that's new is just like, again, it kind of comes back to like the organic content feel. Does this look like content that you would share on Instagram, what I want to call organically or not as ads?
Yeah.
That content often can be repurposed as an ad. And typically that's the content that's working best. It doesn't mean you won't have more traditional ad copy in the mix, but I'm always like, lean on the assets that worked first. If that post really, connected with your audience, use that as an ad. Like take that and just make it the ad because the messaging worked here. It will also work over there. So like, don't sit on your organic content. If that content is working, take those assets and make it part of the ad campaign.
So if that just got good engagement.
Yeah, if it got good engagement and you're like, wow, like that one got shared a lot, it got saved a lot, it got a lot of comments, that post is clearly connecting.
Yeah.
Take that post, put it in your ad campaign and repurpose it as an ad. Whether you repurpose it for strict awareness or whether you repurpose it in a lead form capacity, like take content that's already working in one place and don't sit on that. The second piece then I would say from like the flip side of it, the back end is emails. I think a lot of what you're doing is like collecting the email marketing. I always say like social media is great, has a lot of roles to play in marketing. But when it comes to if you're running that limited time offer and you need people to sign up now, don't sit on email marketing because email marketing has the highest ROI of all of the channels. It's still email marketing. And I know a lot of businesses are like, well, I'll just post on Instagram. And I'm like, that is great. Instagram can still bring you leads and traffic, but don't never build an email list. Like do think about building an email list as well, because your email list typically will have a much higher ROI.
So separate from somebody creating an account in your system when they're purchasing something.
Correct. So yeah, I guess we were talking about the technology.
Yeah.
If someone creates an account, then they still have to opt into email marketing. So this is where the technology gets a bit specific.
Yep. And text.
You've got your transactional emails. Great. That's different because that's when I had to receive.
Yep.
But the marketing email piece, which is a different opt-in if you're listening to this in Canada, make sure that you're building that marketing email piece alongside that. So whether that's done through lead form ads or again, at the time of account creation, making sure that they can opt into a marketing email list is really important too.
How would you, I'm putting you on the spot here, for a yoga studio, for a lead, just to collect in the email, what would you suggest for a yoga studio to?
I already got a bunch of ideas.
Okay, go.
Okay. So a couple, one, there's always the straight up offer. So that's your 2-week trial period, sign up now, whether that's a free week or a discounted week or something.
Yeah, but so just separate that a little bit because that's usually in the booking system, right? So you get the email when you're buying the booking, but you're talking about building an email.
But make that the email list. So if they sign up for the offer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So at the time for the sign up the offer, make sure they know they're getting subscribed to the newsletter list because that can be done at the offer stage. That by opting this offer, they also opt in for the newsletter list. So that piece as well.
Yeah, great.
The second piece, so separate from an offer, would be to offer what we call, in my language, a freebie or a lead magnet.
Yeah.
Or, a free course. So this might be where your studio produces maybe there's a 10-part little mini yoga series or like the 10 yoga poses you're doing wrong. Let's call it that, or, whatever the branding might be. And it's a little download. The download can be whatever you want it to be from a technology perspective.
Builds a bit of confidence.
But it builds a bit of confidence, right? And again, the yoga poses should align with whatever you specialize. So if you have a certain modality, it would be the 10 yoga poses of this modality that obviously align with the modality that you offer or the 10 strength poses. So the lead magnet or freebie is kind of our traditional way to build that email list. Now that lead magnet or freebie can run organic. You can create organic content to it and then they opt in, or you can run it as an ad or both. That's kind of like the standalone way to do it. I run that for a business 24/7.
Yeah. So that's an email collection.
An email collection.
Basically, the transaction, you get this and I get your email.
Exactly. And that way you're building trust right up at the front. We're giving them a little something that's got some value and it's free. And then in exchange, I'm getting your email address and now you've opted in to receive my email marketing.
Yeah.
On the back end of that, of course, you want to run a campaign that relates to this that then converts them to a welcome offer, whatever your welcome offer is.
Yep.
But that would then be your funnel at a very high level. We get them on the list with a free offer. And then we have a little introductory offer or a one-off offer to come in and experience that in your studio. The part I like about ads for me is that ads can run 24/7. Ads have really good targeting. So again, on Instagram, my post goes out to the entire world, but I do have clients all over. Obviously, I specialize in more Canadian and North American time zones. And for yoga studio, you need people who live where your yoga studio is. And ads can really help with that because ads, of course, you can target to exactly where you want, your radius to be.
Well, and I think that's an advantage to a location-based business, right? For advertising, because you can really...
Oh, huge advantage.
Yeah, because when I talk to my folks, I'm like, realistically, 80% of your clients, like not everybody, but about 80% of your clients, how far are they traveling around you? So they tell me kind of distance wise, and then they'll say there's one out at 10 miles away. No, not that one.
But they're probably 2 kilometers away, right?
Yeah.
The yoga studio is going to be hyper local.
Yeah, and let's go back to Yoga Strong NC. 40 plus. You are then advertising within that radius to just females only within this demographic, super tight, and then that ad can talk to that demographic.
Yeah, exactly. So I definitely think ads is I always say, like, you want to get the pieces working first before ads.
I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, if your content doesn't work before ads, it's not going to work after ads. Ads should amplify what's already working. So if you've got pieces that are working, but you're like, gosh, I just wish we were reaching more people or more people like in our physical geographical region, that's where ads can come in. And so I built a lot of what I call them lead form ads for businesses, where we take the offer or the freebie, we connect it up in Facebook ads and run the ads. And the nice thing I like about lead ads is the cost is really clear. Like, I can see exactly how much each email costs.
Yep.
And then over time, I know if I collect 100 emails, what's my average conversion rate? And then I can start to do some math on, does this make sense, the pipeline that I'm bringing in?
Yeah. Does the messaging work through that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Once we've got them in, it used to be that they just got the transactional emails, but I say now that yoga studios have boutique fitness level marketing built in now.
Yeah.
And so we can build beautiful journeys within the booking softwares now, like, the welcome email. Then if they came or didn't come,
then they get another email. Yeah.
we can trigger a different thing. Yeah.
I love that.
So I like my intro offers to go value, 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 convert.
Yeah, exactly. The more value up front. And then I think, like you said, is keep people in the email marketing game for longer too. Like, if they don't convert here, don't never email them again.
Yeah.
Continue to have them as part of your email marketing system. And then you might know, okay, 6 months from now, we'll make another offer. Maybe when they first signed up, they had just moved, or they had just something had happened and they weren't in a time or space where they were ready to join. We continue to email market and build trust. We're emailing them our monthly or weekly newsletter or our tips-based series. And then 6 months from now, you make another offer because maybe at that time it's going to be right for them.
Yep.
I think with email marketing too, people are like, well, it didn't convert day one. And I'm like, well, it's been a week, like sometimes you got to give things a little bit of time. With my marketing club membership, because we can track kind of like the journey of our members as well. And it's longer than people think it is. I wish that everybody signed up for my email list day one and by day 7 was a member.
Yeah.
But typically it can take 6 months to a year for somebody to join my membership. In the yoga space, I would expect it to be quicker because you're going to have a more tangible offer and a more location-based offer sooner. But it can take time. Like, we don't give up on those people just because they didn't convert right away.
Yep.
Just keep messaging, keep continuing.
Hey champs, I want to spotlight our podcast sponsor and someone I consider both a friend and a trusted expert, Mitch McGinley from Boutique Fitness Brokers. He's been on my podcast multiple times. He's a former yoga studio owner just like us. Mitch and his wife successfully sold their studio just like I did, and now he helps others do the same. So if you've heard my conversation with Jill Agonias on this podcast, she sold her studio for well over asking price thanks to Mitch's guidance. Whether you're thinking about selling your yoga studio for top dollar or you're looking to buy an existing studio, and let me tell you, that can be a great head start instead of building from scratch. Mitch is your go-to guy, seriously. He understands the ins and outs of the yoga industry, from valuation to finding the right buyer or seller. Plus, he's been right where you are, so he gets it. I'm always talking about building a profitable business that can be sold or carried on. My former studio is in its 22nd year now, and it's under its 3rd owner, and I consider that a legacy. So if you want to explore your options for buying or selling, head over to yogabizchamp.link/BFB to book a no obligation chat with Mitch himself. And trust me, it's never too early to start planning for your yoga studio's future success. Again, that's yogabizchamp.link/BFB.
Bring them back.
Yeah. Okay, so we're on email. How has email changed? Because let me tell you, when I first start with a yoga studio, typically they are super scared of sending too many emails out because they're scared that every time they do that, they get all these unsubscribes. Number 2 is they jam everything in the month in one email, and you've got like your offers, you've got your spring equinox circle coming up, and it's just a lot. So anyway, I'm going to
You said it all.
So that's what I come into. And so we have to kind of simplify that a little bit. Can you talk a little bit about?
Yeah, it was funny because we just ran an email marketing workshop for the Marketing Club last month. And what I tell people is I'm like, your email inside could be like free puppy, click here, or like free lifetime yoga if you just open this email. And people will still unsubscribe. Like it doesn't matter what you send people in your email, people will unsubscribe. So I think some of that's just a mental game of knowing, okay, people are going to unsubscribe sometimes. I just have to accept that. Like I just have to.
And it's okay. They're not into me anymore. That's okay.
Yeah. And the whole point of having a list, I'm actually doing, as we were saying before, I'm doing this list cleanup, this list transition over. And I just got rid of a bunch of inactive contacts. You don't want to pay for people who are not your people. That's okay. Let them go. Let them be in their own space. They might still communicate in other ways. But the point of an email list is conversion. Yes, we want to build community. Yes, we want to communicate. But if your email list doesn't convert, then we aren't doing the right thing. So people who unsubscribe, I'm like, good, let them go. We don't need to pay for subscribers who aren't going to buy your thing.
Yeah.
So the first piece is that. The second piece, like what you said, is so what happens is people don't want to email because they're worried about unsubscribes. So then they email less. But then when they email less, their email ends up being a 12-page, 24 offer blog. And then people unsubscribe because it's too many things in one. I don't even want to read it. So I was actually like, the solution is actually emailing more because you kind of break the cycle. When you email more, every email doesn't have to be like, buy my thing, buy this thing, but also this other thing and make sure you buy this thing. You can have a lot more value. You can have more offers, but they're sprinkled out. So every email has one offer. That's it. If I have to have two offers, I have too many things. I sometimes have, like, if you're a yoga studio, you might have like an events page where you're like, hey, and for more events, check out this blah, blah, blah coming up. I got it. You got lots of events, but I don't put every single event as 6 text blocks in one email a month.
Yeah. So, I mean, that would be headline, photo, brief teaser, link for more info.
Exactly.
And even with offers, like sales offers, like a 10+2 or a discount on a sale pass, segmenting, you don't have to send that to everybody, right?
Oh my gosh, the segmenting. Yes. More segmenting will save your life. So first, what I usually do is go, if you're going to email once a month, that's only 12 emails to your list. Like, is that actually enough for the amount of things you have going on in your studio? And usually people say no. So I go, even if you just email twice a month, you're already up to 24 emails. The next piece then is the segmenting. People sometimes need more than one email reminder, or you've got different offers. Like if you know you're offering this one-off special class, but it's really only for people who've taken the Power class, want to take the Power Plus class, just email the Power Plus users. You don't have to email the whole list for those things. So then I would send additional emails based on the segmentation, whether that's time segmentation, location, age, or like if person has taken X class, they're probably interested in Y class. That's the kind of segmentation that gets really fun then, because then you start to know who has it.
Yeah.
My favorite segmentation is sending follow-up emails to people who clicked but did not buy. This is usually where your moneymaker email is. And again, depending on your software, you can tag or set this up automatically, depending on what your backend is. But if somebody clicked but did not buy, always send them one more email. If it's a last call kind of situation or a deadline or tickets are going to be sold out.
Clicked in the email, you're talking in the...
They clicked in the email and then they opened up, the event or the purchase window.
They went further.
They went further, but they didn't buy. And so usually in those platforms, you can set up that kind of tagging because we know life gets busy. How many times have you opened a tag? You were going to look at the event or you were going to buy those shoes. And then you didn't in the moment because, you got busy, you got on a call, you did the next thing, you thought, I'll think about it later. And then you didn't. Now, sometimes they might have opened it and they're not interested. That's going to happen. But always send those people another email because I always tell everybody when we sell the membership and we do our big promos a couple times of the year, that email is the number one conversion email every time. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, yes, it's the last day I meant to buy it. Hold on. Because people opened it on the last day. They forgot to buy. Send one last email that's like, hey, I just want to let you know, like the offer expires at midnight. I saw you clicked on it. Just want to make sure, before it goes away that you had the chance to sign up. Boom, signups every time.
Yeah.
But again, that comes with segmenting. I don't email that to the whole list again. That might just be that really small subset of people who clicked.
Yeah. And if they click to your website, you should have a pixel on that website.
Yes. Oh, yes. The pixeling and the tracking, because then again, you can further refine your offers as well.
Yeah. So if people are really unfamiliar with that, Meta and Google, you embed pixels into your website. And then when you do advertising, you can advertise anybody that has, if they've given permission, viewed that page.
Yes, exactly.
Which could be really great for specific offer pages too, right?
Yeah, you can do it by page, or just then they were interested, but they're not yet maybe members of your studio, but maybe they were at a research phase of just researching the studios in their area and are still going to make a decision.
So back to email. So simplifying, speaking to that audience. I think really where studio owners can is in the sign up process when they get a client, asking why that client is there.
Yeah.
Like, what is the reason? Because I swear nobody goes to studio for no reason. They go for flexibility, strength, stress.
Yeah. Something's triggered it, right?
Yeah. So if you can find out the reason, you can speak to that person in your communication, like in segmenting. Anybody that's on an intro offer or whatever your journey is, anybody on an intro that has said they are there for stress, and then you deliver up emails that say, this class is the right class for you. This is the right teacher for you. This is the right workshop. Talking to that person could be very powerful.
Yeah. The more niche, the better. The more segmented, the better. And I think just in general with email marketing, kind of comes back to like that messy marketing piece for Instagram. Like the more raw and honest, the better as well too.
Yeah.
Your email doesn't have to be this very corporate speak. I mean, you're running a yoga studio. This is fun.
It's community. Yeah.
Right? Like make it community.
Yeah.
If you're the owner of the studio and the emails are from you, use first person. Talk about what's experiencing in your personal day, right? I know that might be different for studios, but the more personal, again, you can make the emails, the better. And be honest with your clients, right? Like if something didn't go well in your business and you can share it, like, we're trying to launch this class and we haven't had enough signups yet. And we're letting you know now, not everything has to be like, we've reached all the goals and everything's rainbows and roses all the time. But the more honest you can share about your business and what's going on, people really do respond to that.
Yeah. I had one teacher with one class that just wasn't doing well, but the right people weren't going to the class and weren't connecting to that teacher. So as soon as she put it out there, this is what this teacher offers, and this is what you get out of it, she attracted the people that were interested in that class, like literally talking to that audience.
The right people. Yeah.
So I love that. We've come on to websites a little bit there with the Pixel.
Yeah.
Anything new that's happening on webs right now that you're seeing? I mean, mobile's definitely still up there.
Yeah.
I mean, we have certain rules, kind of top right is your best place for your intro offer.
Yeah.
Are you seeing anything, movements or?
I mean, one of the big shifts is having your website read by AI. So that's kind of the new thing as well.
Yeah.
So one of the things AI likes to read are things like people now ask more direct questions in Google or, whether it's ChatGPT. So I really look at websites like if someone's saying, what's the best yoga studio for mobility in this area? Does your website have that phrase exactly, right? People aren't just often searching yoga studios anymore. They're really searching these long tail keywords. And especially when they're using AI, because with AI, they're really going to I'm looking for mobility exercises or strength exercises, like that they're really getting detailed. And so making sure you've got, again, you're kind of building out these FAQ sections, both for your clients, but also for AI. So if you're that strength studio, I want to make sure you've got either on your homepage or a dedicated page where you talk about that quite a bit in detail. And we really think about the phrases that AI would be searching and how you can answer them. So FAQs are often overlooked. I'm like, that is like a gold mine because if that question matches the question that AI is going to pull, that's where it's going to pull the answer from, is going to be your website. So if you can be forward thinking about what are the questions people are asking before they find you, and then make sure you've got content related to that.
Yeah, and I was also just logged into my Squarespace site the other day, and I noticed in there, it's now got Google and AI, a section in there for filling out for getting found on AI a little bit more.
I love that.
Yeah. I have had new clients find me through who is a community yoga studio business coach.
Yeah, I've had people find me as well. Like in my intake form, it says, where did you find me? And somebody wrote through ChatGPT. And I was like, wow. It was about 6 months ago, or a year ago. And I was like, it was like the first time that happened. And I was like, okay, so it's happening.
Yeah. And I did an episode about this, a few episodes, 3, maybe 4 episodes back, about this is becoming the Star Trek era, because the next generation, they're all talking about, it's glasses and it's going to be wearables that we're going to be talking to.
Oh gosh, I'm not ready for that yet.
Yeah, so a lot of it, that even won't be visual, right? That'll just be a communicator, but you're still going to have to be found from that. So kind of getting ready for the next phases. What have we missed here? We've got lead forms, we've got websites, we've got email, we've got paid ads. Tell me about your club.
Yeah, the Marketing Club. So my Marketing Club membership started back in 2022. So we're actually, as of this recording, coming up to 4 years. And it really started as a way to serve the clients I was working with one-on-one in coaching and group coaching as a way to kind of continue that momentum with continued training and accountability. And so at the time, me and another woman, Brittany Hardy, we were both kind of in the same industry, facing the same problem. And we were like, what if we just launched a membership? And so it was a very, what I want to call traditional founders member, where 4 years ago, we were like, we have an idea. And we made a one-page landing page, very basic. We put it out to our email list. And that first, we only launched it for 4 days and we got 25 members. And we were like, oh my gosh, we have a membership now. We better build something. And so since then, over the last 4 years, we built a lot of things. And so the structure of the membership now is we have 2 workshops a month, one that is on something new related to marketing. So that's everything from AI to SEO to Instagram to Pinterest to YouTube. And then one that's on content planning specifically. So what we're content planning this month for our business. And then my actual favorite part of the membership, and this came about in year 2, was we added in a call on Monday mornings for accountability. You know, in your space that people often get really excited. They come to the webinars, they come to the training, and they be all hyped up to implement this new thing for their business. But then, life gets busy. It didn't happen. And so we asked our members what would help. And they were like, more accountability time. And so every Monday for an hour at 10 a.m. Pacific time, we have office hours. So I'm there hosting the time live.
Yeah.
Our members can come, they can share their wins, share what they're working on, they can ask questions. And then for 45 minutes, they just actually do the work, right? So 15 minutes Q&A, 45 minutes of work. And then during that work session, our members send me things to review. So if you're heads down working, great, you just work during that time. If you want me to have eyeballs on your email copy or your ads or your social media posts, I'll review them for you. But that was really the game-changing piece where people are like, I need the training, but as business owners, we don't often carve out that time to do our own marketing.
Yeah.
I am myself bad at this. And so that was that way to do that.
I love it. And I'm going to join.
You're a perfect fit.
Yeah, no, because I think that's, just having that time carved out, because I used to always say, I'm carving this time out, there is that accountability. I used to put it on Fridays, but, quite often I would like skive off of Fridays, right?
Yeah.
So
mine's always Friday too. And Friday rolls around and then a client project has come in and I want to get that done before the weekend. And so one thing we're offering to your listeners right now is we do have a free 10-day trial. And I believe you'll probably drop the link in the notes below.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome. And so if you're thinking about it, you can join the 10-day free trial. There's no charge for the 10 days. It's free up front and just come and kind of see what it is. That's what I encourage people to do. I always want to make sure it's the right space for your marketing and for your business. So come and check it out. And we would certainly love to have you there.
Yeah. So it's MarketingClub.ca. I haven't got it in front of me here, but I think it's MarketingClub.ca/free trial.
That's correct. Yeah. Free trial.
Yeah. And I will link that into the show notes and you'll probably see me in that group because I think there's something about, I was at a networking event last night and you just get inspired by other people as well when you're in community as well, right? And so you learn from each other in that environment.
Absolutely. A lot of our members who've been there now some of them have been there since the beginning. Like they pair off and they're doing things together. And some of them who are local, they're grabbing a coffee together. They're doing collab posts on Instagram, and I love seeing that because for me, it's that piece of like other business owners, again, making those connections, building community. I always say we've laughed on calls, we've cried on calls and over people's pets and children and people have moved. And it's really been something that I couldn't have anticipated 4 years ago where the Marketing Club would take us today.
Yeah. And what I like about you showing up today, so quite often if somebody's outside of my world, there's definitely people, in the marketing fitness world. But when you showed up today and you started talking about all these intro offers and different scenarios, like, oh, she knows her stuff. She's been around. She's seen the ads.
Yeah, we've seen the ads, the intro offers and all of that stuff. I mean, we were a good fit right away when we started chatting because I love geeking out about marketing stuff. And I love hearing from other people in the industry because I think no one marketing person has all the answers. So when you kind of come together and go like, what are you seeing? And what are you seeing? And what offers are you trying?
Yeah.
It's so beneficial.
The event I went to last night, I said, I want to be challenged in my thinking, right? Because we can and I feel like even in the fitness world, we kind of get set in, this is the intro offer. This is the sequence.
You have to do it a certain way.
Yeah. And then, I hope everybody listens to this marketing month that listens to Samantha Strong as well. She's just doing it a different way. And so I love that getting together to be able to think differently like that.
Yeah,
so I think,
I love
and
that.
the other thing is I know your pricing is really good value here in Canada, but for the club, but with the exchange right now, folks, like if you join this club,
it's almost free with the exchange.
it's going to cost you $2 a month with the exchange right now. Canadian funds into US, it's very good value.
I know we always say that for our US friends when we do, whatever the conversion is at the time, but we always say it's a really good deal for Canadians and it's really an exceptional deal if you're an American. It's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah. Jen, tell me something about you that most people wouldn't know.
Oh, most people wouldn't know. I am quite scared of heights, but at the same time, I have been skydiving and I have done like those rope courses. So I do like to kind of challenge that sometimes, but I'm very scared of heights. Like even being up high in like a stadium, like stadium seating makes me like very nervous. I one time had like a full out panic attack at the Sky Dome, which is now the Rogers Center.
Right.
Like I couldn't go in. I couldn't go up to the high chairs because I was just so nervous about the heights. So I don't love heights, but I have jumped out of a plane, which feels at odds with each other.
Face your fears.
Yeah.
What app, website, what do you use for fun? What do you use?
Oh gosh, I have fun. Okay.
Yeah. Or relaxation, or like a website, like what's a go-to website or app that you might use?
Okay. I have one. It's not necessarily fun, but production.
Oh no, I've got a separate question for work.
Okay. For fun, we have fun. I'm on social media 24/7. I think that's kind of my...
So Instagram.
Instagram. I do love the meditation apps. For that kind of stuff, for chilling out. But I was going to say, maybe it's work, maybe it's fun, because it is fun work. It's called Focus Friend. It's by Hank Green, big kind of celebrity online.
Focus Friend.
Basically, it locks out the apps of your phone, and this little potato, he knits sweaters. So but basically for me, it locks my phone out. So for 60 minutes, I lock my phone out, and then he knits sweaters for me while I lock out my phone. It's one of those. It gamifies your locking out your phone, but as somebody who works in social media and is online.
Oh, I just had panic attack thinking of being locked out of my phone.
I know, but you can do it locked out or not. But I feel like in my world, sometimes I need that lockout time. So if you struggle with...
Is that your work one or your fun one? I can't quite tell.
I don't know. I mean, I enjoy it because it feels fun for me, but it is kind of a work one.
Okay. Any other website app go-tos?
I mean, I live in Canva. 24/7. I feel like most people kind of do. I am playing around with Claude quite a bit right now, the Claude versus ChatGPT debate of things. So I feel like I'm playing around with Claude quite a bit because it's got some cool new features. I don't know where it's going to take us, but it's certainly fun to kind of play around and see.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing some really great actionable tips for our folks. And where can people find you?
So if you are on Instagram, connect with me at Social with Jen with one N. If we're on LinkedIn, you can just find me by my name, Jennifer Kolbuc. That's Kolbuc with the K. And then, of course, my website is MountaintopConsulting.ca or MarketingClub.ca.
/free trial.
/free trial.
Call to action. Go click the link. Thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing, and love to have you back on again.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Michael. It was great to be here today.
All right. Thank you so much. Champs, I hope you enjoyed that conversation with Jennifer. There were so many great reminders in this episode, but the real big one for me is this. Your marketing gets a lot easier when you stop trying to speak to everyone and start speaking clearly to the people your yoga studio is really meant to serve. That is where your content gets stronger, your website gets clearer, your emails get more effective, and your future students can actually understand why your studio is the right fit for them. I also love Jennifer's reminder that marketing does not have to be perfect to be useful. You've been hearing me talk about that. Sometimes the real, slightly messy, behind-the-scenes content is what helps people connect with your community the most. Jennifer is offering the Yoga Biz Champ listeners a free 10-day trial of the Marketing Club that I just signed up for. Again, you can check that out at MarketingClub.ca /free trial. And of course, if you are a yoga studio owner and you know you need help putting the full picture together, your marketing, your intro offer, your website journey, your customer experience, your schedule, your team, your systems, that is exactly what I do inside my 6-month Started Yoga Studio and Grow It Studio coaching programs. You can book a free strategy call with me at yogabizchamp.com /book. You can also find all the links to Jennifer and myself in the show notes. And make sure you are subscribed because Marketing Month is just going. Until next time, see you on the next episode. Thanks for tuning in, champs. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe and leave a review. It really helps me out a lot. And if you're ready to open your own studio or grow your current one, visit yogabizchamp.link/podlink. Again, that's yogabizchamp.link/podlink to book your free strategy call with me and explore my Start a Studio and Grow a Studio packages. And you'll also get access to all of my free Yoga Biz Champ resources there. And you can also check out the video content on YouTube for more insights and follow me on all social media platforms at Yoga Biz Champ. See you next time.